Do you want to go on a 5-day adventure in the Dolomites? You are most certainly not alone. This lovely northern Italian region is becoming increasingly popular, and it's not hard to see why. From pristine emerald lakes to mountain ridges that will transport you to the Lord of the Rings film sets. There is something for everyone. The Dolomites will undoubtedly take your breath away from the moment you arrive. This video is for you if you're looking for the 5 best itineraries in the Dolomites. I've visited the Dolomites 3 times in a year, and I'm here to share everything I've learned with you. This 5-day itinerary is best enjoyed between the months of May and November. I recommend that you either drive yourself or rent a car in the Dolomites. You will have the complete freedom to explore all of these stunning locations at your leisure. 5 days in the Dolomites. This 5-day Dolomites itinerary is ideal for first-time visitors as well as those returning for a second time. It covers all the major attractions as well as some insider tips on how to make the most of your time here. Day 1. Begin your 5-day Dolomites adventure by exploring Caesar Alm, Alpe d'Ussy. The first 2 days of this 5-day Dolomites itinerary will be spent exploring the beautiful Caesar Alm meadows. Now, visiting Caesar Alm, also known as the Alpe d'Ussy, can be tricky, and many people get fined because they aren't well informed about the rules that go along with visiting this place. When travelling by car to the Caesar Alm, the following rules must be followed. You can only drive to the Caesar Alm before 9 AM or after 5 PM, and you can't go any further than Compatch Main Car Park Lot P2. The parking lot costs €17 a day and is open all year. Driving further into the Caesar Alm meadows is strictly prohibited. The mountain road is closed between 9 AM and 5 PM. You can come down whenever you want. If your hotel is lodging in Caesar Alm, you may drive up the mountain road between 9 AM and 5 PM. You'll be given a special permission form that you must have in your car before beginning your drive. Check out all of the hotels available at Caesar Alm. I stayed at Alpina Dolomitos in Compatch for 3 nights and then explored the Caesar Alm area from there. Staying in the area itself can be convenient, especially if you want to see the sunrise over the meadow. We're taking it easy on the first day of this 5-day itinerary because it's also a travel day. Today, we'll eat early at Gosner Swaj, they close at 5 PM, and then go watch the sunset. Day 2, easy hiking and emerald lakes. If you're an early riser, I recommend watching the sunrise from the same location as last night. There's something magical about being the only one there to see the first light hit the mountain peaks. Following that, it's time for breakfast at the hotel. My personal experience with COVID-19 safety at Alpina Dolomites was excellent. A lavish breakfast buffet was available, but only after disinfecting your hands and donning a face mask. After breakfast, it's time to put on those hiking boots and further explore the beauty of Caesar Alm. Hiking here is relatively simple. All of the hiking trails are well maintained and relatively flat. It's time for lunch. After all that walking around and probably taking a million photos, sit down at the Rach Huti and sample some of the local fare. On day 2 of this 5-day Dolomites itinerary, the final stop is Lago di Carzar, also known as Carsi. Because you can drive down from Caesar Alm at any time, you'll be able to leave before 5 PM. The drive to Compatch to Lago di Carzar takes about an hour, and there's a large parking lot right in front of it. Parking is free for the first 15 minutes and €1 per hour thereafter. It is critical to note that the entire lake is fenced off. Climbing over it is strictly prohibited, and it is clearly stated that it is not permitted. Every 5 meters there is a sign on the fence saying you can't go over. Unfortunately, many people continue to disregard this, so I respectfully request that you do not climb over and be respectful. If you're still staying the night in Caesar Alm, make sure you leave at 5 PM. Even if your hotel is nearby, you can only drive up between 9 AM and 5 PM on the day of your check-in. Every other day, you can only drive up to your hotel before 9 AM or after 5 PM. Day 3, on the 3rd day of this 5-day Dolomites itinerary, you'll see postcard perfect scenery and insane mountain ridges. On the 3rd day, we'll do some driving and visit some of the most famous Dolomite locations. After breakfast, take the road down to Caesar Alm towards Val di Furnace. This has to be one of the most picture-perfect places on the planet, and once you arrive, you'll understand why. The drive from Caesar Alm to Val di Furnace takes approximately 1.5 hours and takes you through several mountain passes. First, we'll visit the beautiful Santa Magdalene Church. There is a small parking lot near the church from which you can hike up the hill to one of the Dolomites' most iconic viewpoints. It is critical to understand that driving up this road is not permitted. It is privately owned and you risk being fined. Our next stop is the San Giovanni Church, which is just a little further down the road. This has to be one of the world's most photographed churches. Even so, they decided to turn it into a real tourist attraction. This church admission is no longer free and costs around €4. However, seeing it up close did not pique my interest, and if all you want to see is the epic view, simply walk down the street a little further, you'll come across a platform. During the day, it's very quiet here, but I imagine it's a popular spot for photographers at sunrise and sunset. After seeing Val di Furnes, head to Val Gardena and take the cable car up to Sequedà. There is a large parking lot next to the cable car station, and there are road signs all over the place, so you won't miss it. The cable car costs €34 per person to ride up and down. When you reach the summit, it's time to explore Sequedà's ridge line. Begin by hiking up, and after 10 minutes you'll be greeted by one of the most breathtaking views in the Dolomites. What you do now is entirely up to you. We were in a hurry that day, so we didn't walk along the ridge line, but if you have time, I highly recommend it. Day 4, take off and eat lunch in the clouds. We'll participate in a variety of fun activities on our way to the Tree Kaim National Park on the 4th day of this 5-day Dolomites itinerary. Today we'll visit Kronplatz, one of the South Tyrol's most well-known ski resorts. There are several cable cars that will take you up to the top, but we took the Ferkel Pass one. The cable car costs €21 per person to ride both up and down. But the real fun begins once you've reached the mountain summit. We'll have lunch at one of the most spectacular mountain restaurants. But first, there's some action. The skyscraper is located on top of the Kronplatz at a dizzying 2,275 metres above sea level. This massive swing is a must-see for adrenaline junkies everywhere. You'll be hoisted 15 metres into the air before flying, ideally for those seeking an adrenaline rush, but not for those afraid of heights. The admission ticket was only €13. After the adrenaline rush has worn off, proceed to the Alpine restaurant. This modern restaurant is perched on top of the mountain cliff and provides 360-degree views of the surrounding areas. I also recommend paying a visit to Limen Museum, a modern museum with a fresh perspective on everything related to mountain photography. Day 5, reflection, games, and breathtaking hikes. This will undoubtedly be the busiest of the 5 days in the Dolomites, but everything will be worthwhile in the end. Lago di Brais is your first stop of the day. I could tell you to arrive early to take photos and avoid the crowds, but that would be a complete lie, because this place is crowded all hours of the day. So make sure you arrive by 8 AM at the latest, or you'll have to park a long way away. During the summer, the boathouse opens at 8:30, otherwise it opens at 10 AM. If you want to photograph the boathouse before 9 AM, you must make a reservation here. A boat rental for 30 minutes costs €19, and a boat rental for 60 minutes costs €29. It's definitely worthwhile to walk around the lake afterwards. It's finally here, the moment you've all been waiting for, the international renowned Tree Kaim National Park. If you go during the summer, start your hike as early as possible, preferably before sunrise. It can get very crowded during the day, but for this itinerary, we'll arrive around 4 PM. This will allow you to complete the loop trail around Dries Zinen, as well as a short hike to the Cadini di Misurina. Hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thank you so much!